I wanted to show you guys what poison ivy is because if you don't know, oh boy, if you find out the hard way, you're gonna not be happy at all. So you just get under these shade trees, and this is the place where poison ivy likes to grow. So this right here is poison ivy, and the way you can tell is because there's one, two, three leaves coming out. You kind of see the back side of that one right there. So there's like one stem and a main leaf coming out of it, and then these two come out to the side. That's just a little patch right there. So here is something that's not poison ivy. Cause see, you got a stem and a leaf coming off, stem, a leaf coming off, and a leaf coming off. See, they're not in threes. That's how you know the poison ivy. See, that one's the same way. It could may even be a baby tree for all I know. So I'll show you some more poison ivy, but this is definitely the environment for it. It loves to grow in here. So the way that I got poison ivy the first time was when I first moved here long years ago. I was using a line trimmer around a tree similar to this. It wasn't this tree, it was another tree where I lived before. And the poison ivy was growing all up into the tree, way up there. Big, well, it's probably about this big. And it was all around on the ground. And I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was a vine, which it was. But I was wearing shorts and no shirt. And I was using a line trimmer. People call it a weed eater sometimes. Man, that stuff got all over me bad. So that's how I learned what poison ivy is. That was my first time to really get poison ivy. And then I learned how to identify it. So that's why I was going to show you guys how to identify this stuff so that if you move out here from Dallas like me, and you don't know what you're looking at, well, you're going to really want to know because if you get into it, it's not fun at all. So this is a little parking area where this truck hangs out. And this had gotten completely taken over by poison ivy. So when you spray poison ivy with 2,4-D, it doesn't just kill it in a couple of days. It takes weeks before you're going to see it die. But when it dies, it's going to be dead. So these are the vines that are left over. You can see they're kind of hairy looking. And the little hairs kind of help it to hold on to things, trees, fences. And it all comes back to this main vine, which actually starts on the other side of the fence. So it actually grew way big inside of here, all the way around. It started coming into the back of the truck a little bit. So the only way I was able to kill it was 2,4-D. And I had to do it 2 different years. Well, you can see on the other side of the fence, there's something coming up, and that's poison ivy. So the way you can tell, let's see if I can find a good example for you. So right here, the one leaf is in line. If you touch it, it has oil on it, and it's going to itch like crazy. You don't want to touch it. And if you use some kind of a tool to come back and cut out all this stuff, it's going to be on the tool, and it doesn't close. So they say it'll last like 7 years, the oil. So this right here is the main stem. You can see the leaf coming directly off the main stem of this one deal. And then it has 2 coming out on each side there. That is classic setup there for the poison ivy. Here's another one. You got the main stem and this leaf, and then these 2 coming off each side. They all look the same like that. So it's grown all the way up here, this one vine. So I'm going to have to go on the other side of this fence and spray it so it'll die. You can see over here, this was one from the past. It's pretty big. They'll get real big. They'll get 4 or 5 inches at the base. Like, they look like a tree almost when they get that big, but it's still a vine. So it has to have something to climb. So you can see it climbed this fence, but then it got up into this empty space and it was able to climb all the way by itself and get up to the top. So it just needs something to get started. And then it grew all up inside all this stuff too. So today is the day to hit this ivy right here. And I'm going to see what all this stuff is. I'm not sure. Whatever it is, I don't need it around here. So the goats can't get in here to clean all this up. They can only get right over there to that corner. Because if they do, they'll start jumping on the vehicles and tearing everything up. So when it comes to poison ivy, so around here people use, you'll see a whole lot of this, a Roundup, but it does nothing. This is grass only, nothing for poison ivy. It might make it turn yellow, but that's it. So what you have to get is 2,4-D. You can get it at the feed store. So for Roundup, I use generic brand, Walmart or Tractor Supply or something. The problem with the cheap stuff, though, it separates. So you got to use it up within that season. Like if you let it sit over the winter or something next year, it's going to be all separated in the bottom and it'll clog up the sprayer on the spray tube. So this is 2,4-D. Now 2,4-D works on what they call woody plants. So this is for grass. This is for woody plants. Woody plants would be like vines, trees. So if you use this underneath the canopy of a tree, like we talked about the canopy of the catappa tree, if I spray 2,4-D underneath it, I have to be careful. Like right now, while I'm watering that tree, I won't do that. There's no poison ivy because the goats ate it all. The goats love poison ivy. They eat poison ivy like it's a delicacy or something. So I won't spray anything under the tree while I'm watering, or if the goats are going to come into this area. So they won't be in here for a while. So 2,4-D will handle any kind of ivy. And if you spray a plant, like let's say goat weed, for instance, goat weed will not, this stuff won't do anything for it. It'll make it turn yellow and make it kind of sickly, but it won't kill it. This will kill it. It'll turn brown. Same with poison ivy. Just use a regular old sprayer like this and easy going. Also, one thing about this 2,4-D, this stuff is from the 1950s. It's tried and true. It works very well, but it stinks. So if you're going to spray it around your yard, you might want to do it when you're not going to be hanging around outside. Once it dries, it's okay, but when it's drying, yeah. This stuff here doesn't seem to have any smell to it. And I know there's newer products now that are supposed to be better and probably not so stinky, but both of these things, when it comes to having animals, if you have a really bad goat weed problem or something, and you need to spray it, you just need to move your animals off the property for a while. I usually like to wait till it rains, but it's been long years since I've messed with this stuff. I just use it sparingly now, just like this poison ivy situation. Whenever I mix this stuff, I have this thing right here. It says fuel stabilizer on it. And I use the same measuring tool, this old coffee can. And I use the coffee can to keep the dust and dirt out of the measuring tool. So I use the same one for fuel stabilizer or mixing this stuff. And you can see I got this at Walmart. It's kind of like a big measuring tool. It's got ounces on the side of it over here. So I measure out, however, I have to look on the back of it, but I just write on the bottle once I figure out how much to use, and it's written on here somewhere too. Today we're mixing up some 2,4-D. So I'll just take it over around the corner where the water hose is and pour the stuff in there. Use the water hose to rinse this and rinse the little thing up here on the top, and then fill it up with however many gallons I'm going to make, which probably just 1 gallon because I hardly ever use this stuff. It's usually not necessary. The goats eat everything, but in this case, over by that truck, I'm going to have to spray it because they can't get in there. Plus, it's on the other side. So when you go to fill these up, I always wear rubber gloves. I think it's a lot easier to clean up. So if you fill this up, I'm just going to put 1 gallon because I don't use it that much. But if you fill it up all the way, you can kind of see how it's leaning over a little bit. Well, on this grass, when you fill it up a lot, it's going to try to fall over. So you got to be ready with your little thing right there to put it in and screw the lid. And when you put this in, you don't want to have a bunch of grass all over it. I don't have any right now, but if I just mowed or something, it might have a bunch of grass on it. And because it'll get in there and clog everything up. And then also you want to be sure there's no stuff around here, bugs and dirt and stuff. Outside of that, you just measure it, pour it, fill it, finished. Now, there are people who have told me, I've never tried this. They say if you mix Roundup together with 2,4-D, like full strength Roundup and full strength 2,4-D together, that it makes like the super vegetation killer. So I guess if you're really having a problem and you're trying to clear a bunch of property or something, well, that may be a good idea. But heck, I'd just mow it with a tractor before I do all that. Sounds like a lot of work spraying that much. This is the other side. You see that truck's over there. Now this is poison ivy. You can see right there. See the one, let me get up here. So see the one stem and the leaf coming off of it, and then the two leaves, one on each side? That's how you identify it. So it's coming all the way out this way on this fence, and it's growing up the fence here and trying to go to the other side. You can see some down here as well. And I can see just a little bit still over there on the other side that I need to get. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get back on the other side of here. I'm trying to get over there without getting bit by a snake. Another thing too about spraying anything with 2,4-D or Roundup is you want to spray it on the green, the part that's growing up here, and it soaks it in through the leaves and takes it down into the roots. That's what kills it. So a lot of people will, if it's grass or something growing along like this right here, they'll use a trimmer to cut all this down, and then they'll come back and spray with Roundup. So I'm not saying that doesn't work because you can cut it down low enough, but it has to go through the greenery. You can't cut it down to the dirt and then spray it. It's just a waste. You've got to have some of the green remaining for it to be able to soak in and get down to the roots. Otherwise, it won't actually kill it. It might make it sick for this year, but it'll come back next year. So when it comes to poison ivy, if your goats have been eaten out in the woods, then they may have been rubbing on it, or they may have been eating it, and it may be on their face. So if you're petting them or handling them, if they've been down in the woods, you need to have your goat gloves on, and that's why these are separated from my regular gloves. So they come down. Let me show you how thick it is here on the other side. So you see all this kind of stuff on the other side? This is what they get into. They're just walking through it, but they may have it on their sides. So when you go to feed them in the evening time, if you got shorts on, they're just rubbing past you because they're all excited and they're ready to eat. And they'll get you poison ivy pretty quick. So if they've been in the woods, a lot of times I'll wear pants down here in the evening when I feed them, just to try to keep them from getting me with some poison ivy. Ain't that right, Gizmo? I said, man, I don't know nothing about all that stuff. That's crazy. Yeah. There's one other thing you need to think about too. On poison ivy, I've always heard don't burn it. So if you have a burn pile and you've got poison ivy in it, right now the wind is blowing this direction. What I've been told is the smoke from the poison ivy, if you breathe it in, it can cause a reaction and you can quit breathing or something like that if you have an allergic reaction to it. So it's pretty well known around here, don't burn poison ivy. I've never burned it, so I don't know, but you might keep that in mind too.